enabled over here. I've got a large list, obviously. I've probably got about a few hundred contacts on Skype, as well as your conversations ongoing. So the current conversations you have ongoing. So if you're talking to somebody on the voice section, you can also be typing and talking to somebody else. Down here, there's a box that you can actually do instant message chats with. So if you want to type it out and talk to people that way, you can. So you don't even have to call. In fact, it's actually considered a courtesy on the internet. Instead of calling people, you actually type and say, hey, are you available before you call them? Why is it a little rude to interrupt them? So that's the instant messaging feature down here. Kind of put some arrows there for you. This is a very simple tool, by the way. Now this is some way, sometimes you run into these tech problems. I wanted to make sure everybody knew how to solve them. If you go to the menu up here in the call, and you can go down to what says audio settings, and it'll bring up the call settings. And you can talk into the microphone and tell whether or not the microphone's being picked up. And you can hit the play button and tell if the speaker's actually working. So this way you can actually find out if your stuff's working and your equipment's working, and if it's on your end or their end. Profile information, because just like Facebook, there's some stuff you don't want to have. You can remove your birth date so no one sees it. Even though when you initially sign up, you have to have it on there. You can take it out later so no one knows when your birthday is and you don't give out that personal information. All your information, if you want to put your phone numbers in, you can. Websites in, you can. So this is pretty basic stuff here. This is where it gets a little more interesting. If you have a large group, let's say you want to talk with 5 or 6 people, all you do is you hit the call button. Once you hit the call button, you would go ahead and add people. Just click add people that are on your list, and you'll go ahead and start adding people into the conversation. So now you're in a group call. So instead of, if you don't have three-way calling, as long as they have a Skype account, Skype to Skype calls are free. So if you've got 5 people with Skype accounts, y'all can be talking for free without actually having to pay for anything.
So you could talk to your friend in Scotland.
Oh yeah, I talk all over the world. I got friends in Ukraine, all over, anywhere in the world.
Nothing beats free.
Free, anywhere in the world.
I love this system.
The paid version, you can actually add the telephone number. Now, how many of y'all have kids or grandkids in college? You do? You're the only one? No one else? If you want to talk to your friends or your kids in college and you have a camera, you can actually start a video call and you can actually see them talking to you right in front of the screen.
That's what Oprah uses. That's right.
So you can even do that. So you can do live video chat, audio chats, instant message chats, any of that. You can even, and here's what I like for the business setting. Let's say somebody says, oh, you know, hey, remember that thing you sent me the other day? And I never remember anything. So, because I get too much business, I have to sit there and type everything out. So I tend to type everything, and the good thing for that is I can go back and just click on these buttons and find out every conversation we've ever had and search for whatever I'm looking for. We'll find it.
That's right.
You have the paid service, again, and they give you one free phone call, so if you want to try it out first, you can. But you can actually make landline calls from the actual Skype. Now, how many of y'all are paying more than... Oh, here's the directory. I'm sorry. I'll get to the phone bill here in a second. This is the directory. So if you're looking to find people and you don't know who they are, you can type them by name. You can even search them by the location, their city, the country, and you can look them up there. That way you can find some of your contacts. They've got accessories. It works with your mobile phones. They've got regular phones you can do this with. You can connect everything online. So you don't even have to be ringing up your minutes. You could actually be using the Wi-Fi on your cell phone, making Skype calls to other Skype people for free. This is an application within Skype called Pamela. For those that are using the free service, you can actually get voicemails recorded through Pamela. So if you have the Pamela installation, you can actually get voicemails on the computer, even for the free service, where you normally would have to pay for it. They have a lot of other add-on features that you can do, where you can get faxes through Skype. You can do a lot of other things. You just go to extras.skype.com. And if anybody needs this, let me know. I'll give it to Barry and he can forward you all the whole presentation.
That's awesome. Good? I didn't know about that fax machine though. I need to get in that.
Yeah, they got all of that.
That's free fax?
Has a fax built in.
Okay.
And I'll give you the presentation, and if you got everybody's email here, you can send it to everybody.
Okay.
So everybody will get the same PowerPoint.
That's good. Thank you.
paying for your phone bill? How many of y'all are paying $3 a month for your phone bill? Anybody?
That's for the U.S. and Canada.
If you go on Skype, you can actually make outbound calls for $3 a month. Now, they do charge $30 a year just to get your phone number. So for $66 a year, you can have all your phones in the U.S. and Canada. Anybody make international calls? Okay. How many of y'all are paying more than $20 a month for international calling?
I do. Yeah.
Besides LU here.
My wife is at the hospital right now, so I gotta make a lot of calls.
Are you able to use this for that or no?
No, the internet is not good.
Sometimes it works for some countries, and some countries it's not so great for. But they do. You can look. Just click on the button, and it will tell you all the countries that it will work in. So if you want to look that up, it'll help you out. These are the current promotions they're actually doing as of this morning. I did this at 2 o'clock in the morning, by the way. They're doing 50% off the phone numbers. Normally they're $60. They always do a 50% off promotion, so this won't go away. This one's actually new. I haven't seen this one before, where they're doing 15% off of 12-month subscriptions. So you can pay this $30 or whatever for the unlimited subscription, and they'll give you 15% off there. Just as a bonus, what Barry didn't know, we're actually going to be talking about Google Voice. This is a really cool feature. Google has this new feature called Google Voice, and what it is, it's free also. It gives you your own phone number that will forward to any phone you want. The advantage of this is if you have kids or grandkids, how many of those are trying to memorize 15 different phone numbers? Kids have enough trouble remembering one phone number, much less 15. They're trying to remember the home phone, the cell phone of the parents, the work phones of the parents nowadays. There's too many phone numbers for them to remember. If you have a kid, you can actually have this Google Voice number set up that when that kid calls that number, it will automatically ring every phone until somebody picks up. So they can ring all 5 phones.
Mr. Leroy looking to be annoyed?
Because the kids have an emergency, they want to get up
That's cool, though. I know.
It could be annoying, but
I know.
If you're doing it for an emergency type situation.
Mostly if the kids find out that's going to be the case, they're going to call the heck out of it.
Well, it will stop ringing the second the first one picks up. So
oh, that's good.
Ring everybody.
Okay.
First person that picks up, it stops ringing everything else. The other advantage is, and for those of y'all, how many of y'all own businesses? Nobody? Okay. How many of y'all have a bunch of family members? Somebody's going to have something to do. All right. You can actually customize voicemail greetings to each person. So instead of having a generalized voice box, you could customize it to every single person with each phone number. So when they call, instead of saying, you know, this is you reached Josh or you reached Ali Barry, I could sit there and say, Ali, sorry, Ali, I'm not available at this time, but I'll give you a call back later. Just leave your name. I already got your number on file because I already know who he is. He can call the number, and actually I can customize it just to him, so that he gets a different voicemail than everybody.
Wow.
So
it'll recognize his phone number.
Can you set that up if he has multiple phone numbers that he might be calling you from?
Yeah, I can set it up that way too.
Wow.
In addition to that, you can set it up for groups. So if you have family members and you want them to have a different voicemail, you can add them all into that family group, and that voicemail will go out to everybody in the family. If you're doing an attorney, I work with some attorneys with this, and for the attorneys, we're actually taking that and we're telling them, when you do your case updates, just tell the client to call this number from this phone number that they gave you, and it'll automatically give them a case update, and you'll never have to talk to them.
But you still bill them.
You got it.
You got to. Are you gonna
my big passion is automation.
You're gonna be out of business.
I'm a computer geek, and I love to automate everything. So the less I have to deal with anything, the better. So I'm all for automation.
Hey Josh,
I also do conference calling and everything with this.
can you have that voice though without forwarding it to, so somebody can just come in and get the information right there?
Yeah.
Because with this, the good part is if somebody leaves a message, it's gonna translate it into a writing and write it up,
It's gonna send you a
transcribe it.
It'll text you.
Yeah. Even
Text the message, so you
send
can
it to
have
an
to listen
email.
to it.
Or email.
All the full message somebody left on the thing.
And same thing vice versa.
It's
You
great.
text it out,
And it's free.
and it's free. Yeah, you can't beat this.
It's
And you
free.
can do international calling from this, and you can use this for your phone system as well. Most smartphones nowadays, the Androids, the iPhones, the Blackberries, they have some kind of Google Voice app for it. So you can use Google Voice for your phones as well. The best thing I like using it for is screening callers. When anybody calls my phone number on there, it will automatically say to leave your name. And once you leave the name, it'll sit there and call me, telling me what your name is. And if I don't want to answer, I'll just hit 2. You'll never know that I wasn't available. If I hit 1, then it'll answer and you'll know that I'm available. In fact, I've had people actually start leaving messages and I'll sit there and hit the 1 and they'll say, what's this? They think that they're leaving a message the first time up. So that's kind of a cool feature I thought for it. And you know they do conference calling for this too, right?
I didn't.
Yeah, you can set up conference calls on Google Voice as well.
Wow.
I just knew I'd add that in there because it's something else. So basically, if you're working from home, you can stop traveling to see people and see them on your terms every day. Because I like to sit behind the desk and I don't like traveling that much, so I'll just Skype everybody. If they live further than 10 miles out from me, I tell them to meet me on Skype and we do everything from there.
Yeah, with
And if
gas
you need
prices.
any help, just go.
Yeah. You're not
And
kidding.
if you want to test out the Google Voice, you can actually call this number and it will ask you to leave a number, leave your name, and then before it'll sit there and bug me. So that's how the Google Voice works. You can screen out calls, screen out people you don't like, creditors that are bothering you. You got any creditors?